Hello there and welcome to today's lesson. So imagine being pinched. How does it feel? It's so painful, right? Now, what about when someone slaps you? Also painful, right? Cold, your teeth being plucked out. It's very, very painful, right? Now, today we are going to talk about what we call the nervous system. Well, in very simple terms, I'm going to tell you that the nervous system, it's large, very large, and it's also in charge. Well, the nervous system, it's made up of billions of cells called the neurons. Now, what are the neurons? Well, before we go to that, we are going to say that the neurons come together, or many neurons in simple terms, form what we call the nerve. Now, the neurons. The neurons are difficult cells that have nucleus also. If we are talking about neurons in a very simple, or we trying to explain it in a very simple way, we can take neurons to be an example of a tree, where we have the branches, the trunk, and we also have the roots. Now, the branches are going to represent what we call the dendrites, whereas the trunk is going to represent what we call the action. And finally, for our roots, it's going to represent what we call the action terminus. Now, the neurons. What are the functions of the neurons? Well, the neurons transfer information to the brain so that the brain can absorb the information and make the important decision for the body. Now, let's talk about the action terminus. Well, what happens on the action terminus is that information in form of electric impulses is transferred from one neuron to another. In fact, information jumps from one neuron to another neuron through small spaces that we call the synapse. Now, there is a shield that covers the action and some of the neurons. This shield is called the mirroring shield. The mirroring shield insulates the neurons. Insulation means protects the neurons from harm or heat. Now, this mirroring shield, it's made up of cells called the Schwann cells. Now, there is a depression between two Schwann cells. This depression is called the node of Ranvier. Well, it was named after the person who discovered it. That was Ranvier. He was a scientist. Now, let's talk about the main components of the nervous system. Number one, the central nervous system. It consists of the brain and the spinal cord. They are responsible for all the decisions. They tell the peripheral nervous system what needs to be done, and the peripheral nervous system does it. The peripheral nervous system, it's made up of nerves that run all through our bodies. Now, just like the name suggests, the central nervous system, the central. It is the central of our existence. It defines who we are and what we do. Now, here are some fun facts that I know you did not know. Did you know that the neurons are special because they are not found anywhere else in our body apart from the nervous system? Another fact. Did you know that the neurons in our brains, when they are lined up together, they can create a 965 kilometers long railroad? You're surprised just like I am. Now, the last fun fact that I'm going to tell you of today is that there are so many nerve cells in our brains, more than the stars that are there in the Milky Way galaxy. Those are some of the things to go and think about. Now, I'm going to leave you with these last fun facts about the neurons. They produce, or individually, we produce enough electricity impulse that can light a neon bulb. Thank you very much. Till next time. Bye-bye.